Good evening. Today is Monday, April 3rd, and I didn't get to record yesterday. The day kind of just got away from me, but I do want to stay consistent, like I said, in recording. So here we are. And this episode and this topic is pretty relevant to me. Um, it's about when you what to do when you feel like you're stuck in a rut in your life and you just don't really know what to do next. I feel like a lot of the times on episodes I will read things and excerpts and stuff about like that type of situation and what to do, but it's different when you actually living in it, and I can wholeheartedly like relate to it because that's what I've been going through for these past um definitely this past month, but since like the end of January. Um, and I feel like when certain situations happen, it's for everything happens for a reason, right? And there's lessons to be learned, and there could be multiple lessons in the same season. And I've talked about the wilderness season, your winning season, like it's always like a cycle of things, right? As soon as you start winning, you're in winning season, you still have lessons to learn there. And you have to make sure that you take the lessons that you learned during your wilderness season or your like struggle time into your winning season, and remain humble, but also still be confident in who you are, and like don't be afraid to um be boastful and like be proud of yourself, and be confident and walk in that and be proud of what you've gone through to get to where you are. And I think that along with just being aware of the lesson itself when you're in it, like versus having to like realize something later on. Sometimes the way things work and the way uh, that God works, it's not supposed to be learned. Like you see, I know for me, I see a lot of times like, you know, you might not know now, but you're gonna think back to this time and realize why things happened the way they did, right? But then sometimes you have to realize what's going on in the present because that's necessary for you to get to the next step. And so what I want to talk about is, like I said, what to do when you feel stuck and you feel like you're in that wilderness period of, like for me, I'm learning right now with certain lessons and just interactions that I've had, whether that be even within the past couple of days, the importance of being um, vulnerable and transparent. I think that what I am being taught right now in this season is like, I don't have to have it all together. And what I mean by that is like, I think for me, a lot of the times not necessarily try to mask things, but I, when it comes to certain situations in your life where you feel like it's a failure or you feel like this is not what you exactly wanted for your life, then it might not be always easy to just share what's going on with you at that moment. Sometimes it's better, you feel like, I know for me, let me speak for myself, then I'll feel better in certain situations of sharing it like my success story, so to speak, right? Like right now I'm dealing with trying to find work, and I've been blessed enough to be able to, right, so far, kind of take my time with it. At the end of January, I found out that my job that I've been at, my position was going to be ending. I worked for a nonprofit, and so if you know anything about nonprofit and funding and all that stuff, it's more than that, but it's yeah, my position was ending, and so I found out it was going to be ending at the beginning of March. And so, during that whole time, I tried to be as consistent as I could with recording and making sure I put out useful content, and maybe not directly saying how those topics were relating to me, but they were relating. And it helped me, and hopefully it helped somebody else too. But what I also have been learning is like, not only the importance of transparency and just being vulnerable, but the importance of when you do stuff like that, you never know how it can help you. And right now, just from I had put out a video on TikTok um like a few weeks ago, just talking about my journey of trying to find work and out of state work. I'm trying to move still. And so from there I got a lot of feedback. And with that feedback, I ended up, like, a lot of people have been connecting and like networking and like I'm just communicating with someone now who potentially could get me a job there. So, and I remember I went back and forth, like, in my head, like someone told me like, "Oh, just do a TikTok video or a video about it, or go live or something and talk about it." But that older part of me was like, maybe you should just share the story once you get your job, right? Because then you don't have to deal with like, oh, that feeling of like, all right, I am not working right now, but and people knowing that. But then something, intuition wise, and probably just God telling me like, no, share your story now, because there's other people in that situation, and you never know who might need to hear that, but who also can help you and you can help them. And so that's the whole point of, me doing the podcast and doing the work that I'm doing. Is it's not supposed to just be for me, it's supposed to be for other people, and be able to connect with people and have people connect with each other and just kind of go that way. So um yeah, I feel like that was helpful. And it's been a journey, as this has been a journey for me this year. It's already April, and I feel like the year is going by fast, but also like it's at a good pace. That's all I can really say. Is like my days and my months and my time has been going at a pace that works for me. And I haven't, it's been a while since I've been able to experience this type of pace of life, where I'm just literally forced to go with the flow. I don't know what's next, but I do kind of know what's next. I know what I've manifested and what I've been praying for, and I have that intuition of like, it is gonna come to be what it needs to be for me, but it's all in divine timing. And that's the importance of like knowing who you are, standing in who you are, and don't let anybody or anything deter you from what you know you're meant to be. And sometimes you have to have certain experiences in your life that, other people or society may make you think, or ego may make you think it's a setback. But if you really have faith in yourself and your future and God, and just how, everything works, then it's never a setback. It's just a part of the plan. And the more you're able to understand that and live in it, because it's easy to say it, it's easy, before, like last year, and like, earlier, before I found out, it was easy for me to be like, stick through it, and like, give, those encouraging words. And it's still easy, but it's easy to do it when you're not in that situation. But baby, when you in that space and you like, it's all love and light, but how I'm gonna pay the lights, like when you get to that, that's when you really get to the core of who you are. And I feel like that's when your faith is tested. And I can attest that if you just take your time and you stick with it and you fight through that fire, don't matter. It doesn't matter what it's looking like. Just keep going. That's all you got to do, is just keep going. And when you show God that, and you show the universe that you willing to just, it doesn't matter what's being thrown at you, you still have your head straight and you have your head in the game. Keep your head in the game. Stay 10 toes down and just still stand in what you want. And if you know that it's for you, it will be for you. And nobody can take that from you. And so when you are able to say that and have a testimony in that and live that and show other people that, it's a game changer. You really do. I feel like for me, it's helped me shed skin. Like it's helped me shed this fear of what's next, and living in a I want to live in abundance. You want to, that's the goal, to live in an abundance mindset. But a lot of the times, because you're boggled down with bills and what to do and money and all that stuff, and these ego driven things, it's easy to get into a scarcity mindset. And certain lessons in life push you to get out of that mindset, when you don't have any choice but to live in an abundance mindset. And you literally have to believe that in your soul, in your mind, in your heart, that it's going to work out. And once you're able to live that and that's your aura, you will literally attract the things that you need, and it's a humbling experience. I definitely can attest to that. But it's all for a part of the plan, and you just have to keep remembering that and keep telling yourself that, and talk to your higher self, talk to God, pray, manifest, read, just stay in tune. Don't let it deter you from your path, you know? So that's my little introduction speech, testament, whatever you want to call. But I do want to give, the information that I was going to talk about for this episode. So I was on TikTok. I mean, not TikTok, sorry, Twitter. And I don't know if I follow this person, but I saw this and it was a post from, his name is Dr. Greatness. And this is what it says. It says, feeling stuck in a rut. Want to take your life to the next level? Here are some tips to help you achieve your purpose and greatness. You already have everything you need. The power to achieve greatness is already within you. So, as it goes forward. So, there's a couple of steps. It says, number one, get on your purpose and focus on your goals. When you have a clear sense of direction, you can channel your energy and efforts towards achieving your dreams. Number two, remember to grind daily and put in consistent effort. Success requires discipline and hard work. So make sure you're willing to put in the time and effort required. Grind, consistency. And the first one, it was like purpose, focus. So stopping there, like this time for me I've had some free time to be able to like not only interview and apply for jobs, network, do the things that I need to do as far as like resources, but also working out. I've been making a promise to myself to work out 5 days a week, and this is week 4 of me doing that. So I'm very proud of myself, and because I'm someone who always says I want to work out and then I start doing it and then I find some type of excuse of not to continue with it. So and I feel like working out, it's good for your mind and your spirit, just releasing any stress and stuff like that. It's definitely important as you get older. And it's also teaching your mind how to be consistent, and um, to discipline yourself as well, right? When I wake up, I set my alarm. Like I make sure I still get up at an early time. I don't sleep in. I still get up early as if I would be going to work. And even though I'm like, sometimes like I just don't feel like it, I'm still gonna get up and go to work out. That's the first thing I do is work out. I've been taking supplements and vitamins that assist with all overall body health, and like water intake, meal planning. Like it's not just for the summer, it's just for like a lifestyle change, and really taking the time to heal myself, right? And stay positive. So yeah. Number 3, embrace the challenge and view obstacles as opportunities to grow and learn. Every challenge you overcome is a chance to become a better, stronger version of yourself. And with that one, it says challenge and growth. So, like I said earlier, learning how to embrace whatever is whatever fire comes your way, and learning that these obstacles are opportunities from the universe to grow and learn, and everything happens for a reason. God would, something that I've been telling myself when I get into a space where I'm like, I don't know, like, time is ticking, and like certain deadlines are coming, or just thinking about the future. I have to remind myself that God would never put me in a space that I can't handle. God would never put you in a position or a situation that he doesn't already know you can handle. It's already written. Your story's already written. There's a video from DMX that I like a lot when he was talking about like your story being written. I think I've shared it on my story, but if not, I'm gonna put it on my Instagram. But he just talks about like how God has already have your story written. There's nothing that comes your way that God doesn't already know. So you just you're the main character. Remember that, like, you're the main character. You're the prize. You're the person writing. Granted, your story is already written, but you get to live it, and that's the beauty and the blessing of having life. And so Don't allow yourself to get stuck. Don't allow yourself to stay on the same page. Even if you don't know what the next page or what the next chapter brings, just remember that you're lucky enough to have that next chapter, and just keep going and write it out how you want it to do, or do your best to write out your story the way that you want it to be written, you know? Um, no matter what challenges may come your way. And so, number four, always try again and don't be afraid to fail. Failure is a natural part of the process, and every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. Keep pushing forward and don't give up on your dreams. Persistence, determination. So, this one, I love that because, like I said, um, ego wise, I was in a space of not necessarily afraid to share. And I'm not going to say it's a failure because it wasn't anything on my end. It's just the way that um, it was going in that company. And also, just everything happens for a reason, like I said. And what from the day that I found out to today, I will always keep telling myself, like, if God allowed that to happen, it's for my own good. Anything, like, a lot of the times we'll look at a situation and be like, why would God let this happen? Like, why would you let me be in this space? But from personal experience, when I've been not necessarily in this type of predicament, but in another predicament that I wasn't expecting, and it was something that could potentially impact, I think I've talked about it before, like in the beginning, my housing or like things like that, is always for a reason. It's usually to improve you, to teach you, not only teach you a lesson, but to maybe sharpen some skills, shed some bad habits, but also it's always going to push you to a different space that you need to be in. Everything is like a part of the story, and your time expires sometimes with places and things and people, and you have to respect that and allow yourself to be transitioned to where it is you need to be. Oh, I don't know about you, but I always want to go where I'm supposed to be. And in my life. And if I know in my heart, in my head and stuff like that, and I have goals, and if I see if there's an opportunity that occurs in my life or a situation that occurs in my life that maybe I didn't expect, but um it happens, I have to accept it. You have to accept it. It doesn't mean that you have to stay there. It doesn't mean you have to stay in the change, or like allow it to make you stuck. It's always for the better meant of you, and to create a stronger version of yourself. We all have testaments. We all have situations that have happened in our lives that have made us better. Even if at that time we didn't realize it was making us better, you got through it, and you can look back and say, oh, I got through that, and it made me a better person. It made me smarter, or it made me more better with my money, or more, more decisive with the people I hang with. Whatever the situation may be, obstacles that are come our way are for a reason. And sometimes we have to also remember that obstacles are not only just from, like, evil, right? Or from, the evil spirit. Sometimes God puts obstacles in our lives. Sometimes your higher self does contribute to putting obstacles in your life, because they know that you may be getting stuck in your growth. You might be, even if you don't know, you might be getting stuck and comfortable being where you are, and you need certain situations to push you out of that space of, like, oh, I got it, right? Because you never got it. There's always more things to learn. There's always another step to take. There's always another lesson to be learned. As long as you are breathing and on earth, you still have things to do. And so it is the role of your higher self to put you in certain spaces that are going to grow you, and make you, step out of your comfort zone and bet on yourself. So yeah. Number four. Wait, I already did that one. Always try again. Don't be good. Okay, that was a failure one. Okay, number five. Um, Train your mind and body daily, and take care of yourself both mentally and physically. A healthy, balanced lifestyle is key to achieving success and staying motivated. So, like I said earlier, I've taken full advantage of this time that I've had to stay consistent and work out 5 days a week. I might even push it to six, but I'm not sure yet. But even today, like before, I was only doing workouts for like 30 minutes. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to push it up to try to do 40, 45 minutes. Because I'm not trying to like lose a lot of weight, like I'm just more so toning up and more so doing it for uh discipline and like my mental health. Because I realized that like if I just stay in the house and I just stay in bed and like it can kind of go in a bad direction. Could become creating laziness and just start thinking about um where you are and like things like that, and it can go bad. So I'm not necessarily trying to avoid feelings, but more so just stay motivated and stay healthy. And it helps me overall, like mentally. It's helping me to create, like I said, stay on a consistent schedule. It helps my body physically to not only lose weight but also just be in the best shape, to make sure my bones and all that stuff is good, as you get older. It's influenced me to start taking supplements. I never was taking supplements before. Now I'm taking like greens and stuff and looking at ways to do like detoxes and stuff like that. So it's really interested. It's increased my interest in healthy living and eating, being able to meal prep and like stay in a decent diet and stuff like that. So there's always some goodness and wellness and self-care and training your mind and body, and it definitely takes consistency. Like I said, I have it in my phone, like in my calendar, how many weeks I've been working out and like staying consistent with it and keeping track of that. It's a motivator, but also it's a way to see like your progress and to train your mind and your body, like I said. So that's definitely an important one. And then number 6, never give up and keep pushing forward no matter what. Success requires persistence and resilience, so stay focused and stay the course. Number 7, eat to live. Fuel your body with nourishing, healthy food that helps you perform at your best. Your body is your temple, so treat it with respect and care. That's a very important one. Number 8, stay in the fight and keep working towards your goals. Success is not a straight line, and there will be bumps in the road along the way. But with persistence and dedication, you can overcome any obstacle. This is a very great one. Like I said, um, you know, resilience. Be resilient no matter what. I like how it says success is not a straight line, and there's going to be bumps in the road along the way. And so those bumps are there to help you check in with yourself. Those bumps are there to help you, make the right turn. Maybe you're not on the right road, maybe you're not going in the right direction. Bumps come for a reason. And so you have to just be, like it says, persistent and dedicated, not just to um, the goal, but to yourself. You owe it to yourself to stay in the fight and keep working towards what you want. Number 9, stop doubting yourself and start believing in your potential. You are capable of achieving greatness, but it starts with trusting in yourself and your abilities. That's a great one because um I'm not gonna say I was necessarily doubting myself, but I was in this space before finding out about my job and all that stuff, where I was like looking up um how to keep growing my business and what type of like not certifications, but what type of how to make it legit as possible. And so I had gotten my LLC for it, and then um just like a few weeks before finding out about my job, I had found out about how to become an S corporation. And I had wrote down like the steps to do it, but I didn't really think too much of it. And it was just another thing that I had added to my goals for this year. And so as soon as the day that I found out about my job, I did the application for the S corp, and I found out like maybe a week or so ago, or a couple weeks, maybe. Yeah, I know I got the paperwork a couple days ago, but Black Hippie Lounge is officially an S corporation now. And so very proud of myself for that, and just working so diligently this year to grow the business and like make merchandise. And it's not easy, it's really taught me to, you have to bet on you. You can't depend on your family, you can't depend on friends, nobody else to promote you. And you have to work diligently and hard, no matter what the sales are looking like, no matter what it's looking like, whatever, whether it be selling things or you know making clothing, whatever it is, whatever the goal is that you have to do, especially if it's a self-made situation, you have to bet on you all the time, and you have to promote you all the time. And it's going to happen if you stay consistent with it. You will get to where you need to be. Not only promoting yourself, but network and find different things or ways to get yourself out there. That's what I've been doing. I do have, one thing that I know that I'll be able to do this summer, in regards to my business, but I won't share that yet, until I really get the full details. But I'm still like working on other projects too and other ways to like get out there in the community. So my point of that is like, don't doubt yourself. And you have to, once you start believing in your potential and you really manifest it and you envision it in your head, like envision what it's going to look like, not just the money and the success, but like what is it going to actually look like for me, what does it look like when I'm selling my merchandise, what does my merchandise look like? And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of trial and error, but you have to keep going and believe in your potential. And when you do that, it's going to show through your work. It becomes your baby. Like before, I was always seeing that, like, oh, when people say like, oh, my book is my baby, or whatever project they have, it's like, oh, that's my baby. And you're like, okay, yeah, like I get it. But no, when you put in that blood, sweat, and tears, that's your baby for real. Like when it comes to fruition, like I don't you don't as a if you really believe in yourself and you believe in the work that you do, you really won't care if nobody likes it. Is if you love it, that's all that matters. And so, um yeah, I like how it says, just stop, don't doubt yourself and start believing in your potential, and it'll show through and you can create greatness. um so those are the seven, excuse me, um nine steps and things that you can remember when you feel like you're stuck in a rut. And again, like it says, you have to remember that everything that you need is already within you. It's just you got to work with your higher self to bring it out. And I can attest to, like, there are things that I've done these past years that I never thought I would be doing, and I didn't know before that it was in me. And you go through situations that allow your soul to bring it out of you, right? You have to remember, it's not on you, it's in you. And practice and live that. You have to really get to know yourself. And I think that times like this, where for me, being um, alone and being able to reflect and just self reflect and work on myself, you get to really know who you are, right? And once you know who you are, nothing can stop you. Nobody can stop you. You get to determine who you are, and you have to learn who you are for yourself, and how to function in this world, right? So, I hope that this was helpful to anybody who may have been feeling stuck in a rut and you just don't know what to do. Because sometimes we get into those spaces where we just don't know what to do. But my important thing from that is, like, remember, it's already in you. Whatever needs to be done and whatever you're going to become is already in you. It's just up to you to tap in and figure out who that is. So that's all I have. I am Chanel. I'm the host of Black KP Lounge. And as always, meditate, manifest, invest in you. Take care of you. And if you haven't already, check out the link in my bio on Instagram and TikTok, where you can look at my website and look at the merchandise that I have, which I will be updating that as well. So be on the lookout for updates in regards to merchandise and stuff like that, and any events that I will be doing this summer/spring. So As always, thank you for listening and take care of you. Meditate, manifest, invest in you. Join me on my spiritual journey as I elevate myself and like-minded listeners to a higher level mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thank you for listening. This is Black Hippie Lounge, and I am your host, Chanel.